and welcome back to another episode of Uncut Gems with Slim. I am your host, Slim Reshae, aka Jasmin, and I am super excited to have you tuned in this week, y'all. Now, it is officially December. I know last week I said it was December on Sunday, November 30th, but it is officially December. Congratulations, y'all. We made it through 2020. This is literally a year of history that we will tell our children and grandchildren, and it'll be definitely in the history books because y'all, like, 2020 has been 2020. But yeah, I just wanted to welcome you guys back to the channel, welcome you back to the podcast. If you're listening via podcast, shout out to you. Thank you for streaming every Sunday, every week, whenever you're listening to this. I really appreciate all the subscriptions. I also want to shout out, I believe his name is Justin. Justin sent me an email. He listens to the podcast, and I just wanted to acknowledge you and say that I appreciate you. Your words of appreciation were just so heartfelt, and it kind of inspired this week's episode. So as you can see from the title, from the message title, this week's gem is focused on having an attitude of gratitude. Right now it's holiday season and things are just starting to kind of pick up and seem a little bit more chaotic than usual, a little bit more busy than usual, because we're trying to get certain things in place in order to, you know, decorate the house for Christmas or celebrate the holidays with your family. And are we gonna go to this family's house or that family's house? Are we gonna do Zoom calls because that's like our new normal of gathering safely? Like, what are we gonna be doing? So all of these things are like running through our minds, like, oh, what should I get so-and-so? Should I get them a gift? Should I get this as a gift? Like, all of these things are just going off in our heads. And not only that, the hustle and bustle of holiday season, but just like trying to wrap up those year-end goals and making sure we are connecting the dots from where we are right now to the goals we set out for this year. And so I feel like it's just a lot that's going on, and it's okay. Like, if you have a lot going on right now, like, I want to let you know that it's not normal. And if you don't have anything going on, that's not normal either. Like, right now we are living in a time that is just not normal. And so I just wanted to share with you guys, like, everyone is human. Like, we have a lot more in common than you really think, and like, everyone has life things going on. Everyone has just different things they're experiencing right now in this season, whether it be loss, whether it be, you know, grieving loss, whether it's loss of a job, whether it's just feeling overwhelmed, anxiety, whatever it may be. Like, everyone has a bad day. Everyone has bad days. So if you're having a bad day, like, don't get down on yourself because you're having a bad day, because I feel like sometimes we don't give ourselves that much grace to, like, acknowledge that, you know, this is real life. Like, okay, for me, as I become more self-aware, like, if things happen and they upset me, sometimes I would usually, like, get upset that that thing upset me. And I feel like that's a common thing that we all do. That's almost like, you know, those times when you just keep dropping stuff and then you just get pissed that you keep dropping stuff. Like, you mad at yourself because you mad that you keep dropping stuff, and you like, why am I mad that I keep dropping stuff and it's not that big of a deal? Like, everyone experiences those things, and I just want to make sure you guys are kind of giving yourself enough grace and enough space to just, like, be you. Like, just be. Like, if you're going through something and, you know, you're having a hard time, give yourself, you know, like I said last week, give yourself 48 hours to really, like, you know, feel that pain, really, like, experience, like, shed those tears that you might be holding in because you're trying to stay strong or you're trying to put on a facade. Like, give yourself a moment to just be. Like, whatever emotion you're feeling, like, let that thing ride for a minute. Like, you don't want to bask in it too long, but what I'm basically trying to say is, like, it is okay to, like, get mad or get upset based on how you respond to something. Does that make sense? Like, it's okay to feel the feelings that you feel when you're responding. I'm trying to see if I'm making sense. But like I said, what I'm trying to say is, like, if I'm having a bad day or, you know, something really got on my nerves, instead of automatically jumping to, like, dang, like, that really shouldn't have got on my nerves. I can't believe, like, I'm allowing that thing to get on my nerves. And then you start working yourself up because you mad that you got mad about something that you shouldn't have been mad about. Does that make sense? And so just giving yourself that space and that grace to be like, you know what? That thing did make me mad. Should I be mad about it? No, because it's just something small that I can get over. And so what am I gonna do about it from here? And so then at that moment, like I said, as I've started becoming more self-aware, usually when I have those moments where I'm like, girl, like, I cannot believe you allowing that to make you upset. When I have those moments, I'm like, you know, yes, I shouldn't be getting upset at this thing that's happening or whatever situation it is, but it's also like, okay, but I'm acknowledging that I'm upset, and then I'm taking the time to, like, regroup. Like I always say, sometimes, like, I have to take some time and woo-sigh when something, you know, abrupt happen, because abrupt changes and me, we not two peas in a pod at all. And so, like, when just abrupt changes and things like that in my life happen, that's when I'll, like, really be like, okay, yes, that was abrupt, came at my jugular. I'm acknowledging that it came at my jugular, but I'm not gonna react and respond immediately. Like, I'm gonna acknowledge how I'm feeling. I'm gonna give me a second, woosah, sit it to the side, revisit it. That's the thing. Like, if you're doing something and it's just not working out for you and you can't figure it out, but you got to get it done or whatever it may be, like, give it a minute, revisit it, come back to it. If you're having a creative block, writer's block, like, don't get mad at yourself that you have, like, this block and you just don't know how to move forward. Like, take a moment, step back, relax, woosah, go get you some tea, go get you a meal, do something that those happy triggers that we talked about a few weeks ago, do something that's going to trigger happiness, and then return to that thing to kind of, like, figure out, you know, like, okay, maybe once you take that moment away and then you come back and revisit it, you'll probably be more refreshed and you'll have, like, an open outlook and you'll be able to move on just like that. And I kind of, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have no real notes for this week. I have a few points on my phone, but I don't have no real notes. So that was a long tangent that kind of got off topic, but hopefully that resonated with somebody. The main point is give yourself some grace and allow yourself to, like, you know, if something upsets you, allow yourself to be upset in that moment, but, you know, tuck it in, woosah, and then move forward, knowing that you acknowledge that emotion that you felt in that moment, and that, you know, you're accepting, like, yes, it made me feel that way. What can I do about it from here? And so that's about that. But back to an attitude of gratitude. I wanted to talk about the actual definition of gratitude. So by definition, gratitude is the quality of being thankful or readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness. And y'all already know, on all my platforms, you know, we love keeping it positive and the positive vibes flowing. And I feel like the world cannot have too much kindness. Like, we can use kindness, positivity any day. Anyone can use a little boost of energy from someone being kind to them or a random act of kindness. Like, that's something that we can do, small things that we can do. Honestly, like, you really don't know how your words and how a small random act of kindness can like impact somebody and like change their day, change their life, change their perspective. Like, literally something as small as saying, you know, hey, how are you doing today? Or just like, if you're in line and the person behind you is rushing or something and you ain't got no place to be and they only have a few items, allowing them to go in front of you to check out because they seem like they're in a rush. Even if they approach you with like not the best attitude, like sometimes I know like if somebody will come at you, you'll be like ready to clap back, you know what I'm saying? So for example, like one time I was in Baskin-Robbins drive-thru, right? And so I was waiting in line, there was nowhere to move, and like the dude behind me like kept honking me to like move up closer to the car in front of me. And I was like, dang, like he must be in a rush. Like, I don't understand why he keep honking me. Like, that's real rude. And my initial reaction, I'm not gonna lie, is I'm gonna go 0.5 miles an hour creeping up to the little drive-through thing because you're not about to be rushing me or you're not about to be rude. That was my initial thought. That was like college Jasmine. But like in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this upset me and, you know, get all my panties in a bunch because this man is honking me in the drive-through line. And so when I got up to the window, what I said, excuse me, what did the man behind me order? She told me what he ordered. I had to make sure it wasn't nothing like crazy. But she told me what he ordered and I said, okay, I'm gonna pay for his ice cream. And so I paid for his ice cream. And you know, like in that moment when he was honking, he was probably rushing. He might have not been having a good day. He probably had an attitude. And for him to pull up to that window, I can only imagine that when he knew that I paid for his meal, one, he would have like, his spirit probably would have been like, you know, you ain't had to be honking that girl like that. Like, that was rude. But also, it's like, dang, like there's some nice people in the world regardless of how you treat them. And so the attitude of gratitude and just returning kindness to people, you don't know how impactful that could be. And so like I keep saying, like all of us are human. We are all going through things. We're all experiencing stuff. We all have bad days. And so just imagine if you're having a terrible day and just someone performs a random act of kindness towards you or uplifts you with some positive words or, you know, whatever it may be. Like, imagine how that will uplift you and pick up your day, and you can pay it forward by doing that for someone else. And I'll do that every now and then. And a lot of the times when I do it, or say if I like pay for someone's meal or something like that, a lot of times when I do it and we're in the same vicinity, the person will say, wow, I literally did that for someone here recently. And that is like, you're planting seeds by giving to these people. You're planting seeds by being kind. It doesn't have to be monetary things. It can be, like I said, your words and your encouragement and things like that. Those are planting seeds. And although you might not see the harvest of the seed that you're planting in the place that you planted it, but 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10, it's gonna come back to you and you're gonna reap that harvest in one way or another. So I just want to kind of encourage you guys this week, instead of giving you guys like a token of wisdom or like some advice, this week I want to actually challenge you guys to have an attitude of gratitude. And at some point this week, try to perform a random act of kindness or just share some words of appreciation with someone. And it doesn't have to be like someone that you know personally. It can be someone that you know personally. If it is someone that you know personally, when you're sharing these like kind words of appreciation and things like that, appreciate them just for who they are. Not necessarily for something that they've done, not necessarily for something that they've given you, but just for who they are. Like, one of the highest forms of flattery is complimenting someone's personality. In my opinion, that's one of the highest forms of flattery. And the reason why, again, in my opinion, is because like they're complimenting who you are. They're acknowledging who you are. And so it kind of just carries a different weight than just, you know, appreciating someone for doing something for you or, you know, whatever. But I just wanted to challenge you guys again this week to perform a random act of kindness. And it can, like I said, it don't got to cost you no money. It can be kind words. It could be appreciation. You can go up to the person that's, I don't know, checking you out in Walmart and just be like, you know, I really appreciate, I appreciate you and for the work you're doing here. And I hope you have a happy holiday. It can be anything, just little as that. And those are things that people remember, especially when we're all caught up in life and we're, you know, trucking through the mundane day to day. Those little moments is what stands out to people and brightens their day or can change their life, literally. I just want to, again, like I said, I done said this about 50 times because I ain't got my notes, but just try to, you know, just be kind. Be kind this week. And I'm sure you'll receive that kindness back. If you don't receive any direct kindness, I want to let you know that I appreciate every single one of you that are listening to the sound of my voice. I appreciate every one of you who are listening, everyone who is watching. Y'all get into this makeup look. This look actually is already going to be on my Instagram by the time you guys watch this podcast. But we are doing 12, really 13 days of looks leading up to Vlogmas on my main channel. The 12 days of Vlogmas will kick off on December 14th. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Just kind of taking a moment to sit back, relax, and just be grateful. Literally, like, be grateful. Like, we're here. There's so much to be grateful for. We got breath in our lungs, okay? That's enough to be grateful for right there. But it's the small stuff that we usually kind of take for granted. And I'm not saying you specifically, but even me myself, like, it's the small stuff I take for granted. Like, just take a moment and just like acknowledge all the things you have to be grateful for. Like, there's all kind of little things that we can really appreciate. And a lot of times when we get kind of busy with life and kind of caught up, you know, with day-to-day operations, like, we forget about the small things that are really big things that we should be grateful for. So I just want to share that with you. I'm really trying to have an attitude of gratitude. You know, I'm trying to keep my attitude of gratitude there, like, consistently. Sometimes, like I say, you do fall off and you know, take stuff for granted, whatever, but let's work towards trying to maintain a level of gratitude as we just move forward in life and as we wrap up this year. Like, let's just be appreciative. Honestly, I know I've been rambling back and forth on today's episode, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it and y'all take something from this. Super excited. I'm starting to plan our next series. I'm just gonna let y'all know, y'all been asking for some self-confidence, self-awareness, some self content. And guess what, y'all? I have a series that is coming soon, 2021. It will be self-ology. Okay, self-ology. And I know you're probably like, girl, what, you know, biology, self-ology. Anyway, I'm gonna get into it because it was inspired by someone that I met. I didn't really meet them, but someone that spoke at Impress Yourself, which is an ABEV scholarship mixer. And so yeah, I'm super excited to dive into that and help you guys grow in just some different areas of self and focusing in on self. And I'm gonna gonna just leave it right there, because you know, if I start giving you tidbits here and there, like, I'm gonna start rambling even more, and I don't want this video and this podcast to be too long, because I'm trying to keep them condensed, because I know, like I said, holiday season, a lot going on. I'm trying to keep it real condensed so you guys can enjoy your families and enjoy the people around you and the things that you're doing. But you can, you know, play this podcast in the car on the way to work if you got a little 15-minute, 20-minute commute. You feel me? So I'm trying to keep it tucked in, and I'm gonna wrap it up right here. That's all I got, because I'm gonna keep talking. I love y'all so very much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Next week is gonna be the 13th of December. Yep. And so on that one, I will be really like sharing with you guys how Vlogmas is starting on December 14th. So I'm super excited about that. Y'all uplift me in prayer that I make it through. I'm super excited to share more content with you guys. And that's all I got. I'm gonna zip it up, zoop, zoop, because I'm gonna keep going. I love y'all so very much. Thank you for tuning in, and until next week. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, and feel free to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Slim Reshae. That's SLIMRESHAE. Links will be listed in the show notes, and until next time, love yourself and beautiful. When you're bad, when you need to find your purpose, come this way. Uncut Gems.